Hi, I'm Asaki Matsuzaki, a psychiatrist. Compared to people in many other countries, Japanese people generally tend to express their abilities or social status more modestly. Humility is often regarded as a virtue in Japanese culture. For example, when it comes to learning foreign languages, it has been pointed out that Japanese people tend to underestimate their own abilities.
You may have seen a Westerner who can only say a few basic greetings in Japanese, yet still confidently say, "Yeah, I can speak Japanese." As Japanese, we're often surprised by that.
But on the flip side, in Japan, you'll often hear people say, "I cannot speak English," even if they can speak it fairly well. In one study where people were asked to evaluate their own abilities, American participants, especially American men, tended to rate themselves highly. In contrast, Japanese participants tended to rate themselves lower. However, just from that alone, it's hard to tell. It could represent the modesty of Japanese people, or it might suggest that Japanese people think poorly of themselves. But interestingly, when participants were told they would be paid for accurate self-assessment,
Japanese people stopped rating themselves so low. In other words,
it's not that Japanese people truly believe their abilities are low. Rather, they are aware of their capabilities and know what they can do, but they intentionally choose to downplay those abilities when speaking to others. Japanese people are, after all, humble.
Even in situations where their identity is anonymous, Canadians hesitated to admit doing poorly, while Japanese hesitated to admit doing well, showing that Japanese humility remains consistent even when no one is watching.
Japanese people tend to avoid direct self-promotion or talking openly about their strengths. Instead, they say that by being understood by others, Japanese people hope their abilities will be acknowledged in an indirect, not direct way.
I can relate to that.
Let's imagine someone passing a certification exam.
Mr. Suzuki, I heard you passed that exam. That's amazing.
Oh no, not at all. I was just lucky.
Come on, Mr. Suzuki, that's not the kind of exam you passed by luck. That was your own ability. A conversation like that.
If you're Japanese, I'm sure you've had a conversation like this. So why do Japanese people behave so humbly? It's thought that Japanese humility is a form of impression management, a way to avoid criticism, prevent offending others, and maintain peaceful relationships. As Japanese people, we may have always taken this for granted. But when we look at it from an outside perspective, I think many of us might find ourselves thinking, yeah, that's true. So yeah, this wasn't exactly psychiatry today, but I feel like it was a good opportunity to learn about the Japanese spirit and what humility means. でした。